turning down the freaking volume. That was the music, but it's also the person coming in. Now I can hear you perfectly. Mysta, how we doing this morning? But it's also the person coming in. Now I can hear you perfectly. Mysta, how we doing this morning?
I'm good, fam. How you been?
Doing good, man. Doing good. By the way, thanks
Actually,
for being the
you been
huh? Good man, doing good. By the way, thanks for being the huh?
what's going
Thanks
on,
for being
Eric? Talk to me.
not much. Thanks for being the first guest on here. By the way, congratulations on 52 weeks on the You Are What You Listen to Rate
Appreciate that.
Train. By the way,
Thank you for thinking about me, by the way.
congratulations on 52 weeks on the You Are What You Listen to Rate Train. By the way, thank you for thinking about me. By the way, oh, of course, always thinking of you, man. Always thinking of you. You're the mixed syndicate brother right there. Um, so I want to ask you about that. I want to start out with that because the raid trains. I used to do raid trains, as you know, if you remember way back when. I used to put together raid trains, and they're a pain in the ass to put together. But you guys have managed to do it for 52 weeks straight. What keeps driving you guys to do these things every week? What pushes you every week to keep on doing it and not just blow the whole thing up like I ended up doing when me and Romantics were doing raid trains way back in the day because it got so frustrating to try to get people and people falling out. Like, what pushes you to keep on going every week? I mean, you just hit 1 year. This week is the start of the new year, which is exciting. But you hit one full year. How did you do it?
Well, honestly, I think it's a passion of just being heard and being seen. And to be honest with you, it's like, oh, let me lower this down a little bit. And to be honest with you, it's been an interesting ride with Siempre. You know what I mean? Because we both collab, but I'm not gonna lie. Most of the time, I ask her to look out, and she does. I mean, I appreciate that. And sometimes when when she can't find people, I do, and I like to put on friends like yourself on, and just try to make it work. Make the world, make it
It's
worth the while.
teamwork, man.
Like Flacco's in here too. Flacco be on the way train, but I think honestly, I just it's just the passion to be heard and just trying to gain viewers and followers, and because Twitch is not easy. It's hard.
That is a fact.
It's a
Twitch
beautiful
is definitely
platform because you can actually be heard, and you can play music, and you can literally DJ live with visual. I think that to me is amazing because we couldn't do that a couple years ago. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Just couldn't.
I mean, the fact that we can show music
Instagram was
videos
a
while
breakthrough,
DJing.
and
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, the fact that we couldn't even first of all, the thought of streaming live never occurred to any of us, I don't think, to most DJs. There's a few DJs that had already been on Twitch. DJ Vet, actually, who's just in here, is one of them. And I met a few others that were streaming way before we all did. But the thought of DJing online had never occurred to us until the pandemic hit. But let me ask you this. So you've been DJing now a long time. How long you been DJing? About how long?
uh, I definitely want to say over 25 years. Let's just keep it like that. I've been doing this a
Hey,
long time.
you're doing a long time. I'm at like 17, so I feel you.
I was a boy.
I can't wait till I hit my 25th. Yeah, Vet's saying he's still here. TJ Vet's like, I'm still here. I'm still on Twitch. What brought you to DJ? What made you start DJing? Because I could give you my story. My story is weird, and everybody always finds it weird. But I'm always interested in people's story. Like, did you have a passion? Were you drawn to music,
Well,
or did you simply just see somebody do it and decide you want to do it one day? What brought you to DJ?
honestly, I started at when I was 6 years old. I love music. I love the passion to just to sing. I was a singer when I was a boy, and then from there I ended up uh, just evolving. I guess I went to music school through my high school years. I was at LaGuardia High School, but before then I was a singer. Like my mom, she pushed me for it. I guess she wanted me to sing and stuff like that. And then after years of play, I don't know. As soon as when I moved out to my mom had another spot in Brooklyn, and when I was out there, I met the Super Son one time, and he was my friend, and I ended up coming to his crib, and he was like, "Yo, I'm a DJ, this and that." I was like, "Oh, that's dope. I'm a singer, whatever." I thought we was just gonna make some beats, and maybe he wanted me to sing or something. I don't know. And I ended up hearing some beats, and then where he was just doing some shit on the turntable, I was like, "Yo, this is hot," and it just took off from there. I just decided that I wanted to DJ instead of singing because I think my mom's passion was music. You know, she wanted me to be a singer, but my passion was that DJing. You know,
Was
like when
yeah. So your passion with music going around, and that's the joy of being a DJ. I think that a lot of people don't get is when you're a DJ, you can play whatever you want. Brings me to my next question. So okay, so you started about 25 years. You've been DJing about 25 years. Do you remember your first gig and how nervous you were on it? Or were you not nervous at all? Did it come almost natural because you
I
had
do
practice in?
actually. No, I was. I mean, I started as a boy. I started when I was 16, but I got into the clubs at 18, and I remember this spot called Metropolis Cafe. It was my first time, and somebody gave me a shot, and I didn't know what I was gonna get myself into, and a woman by the name of Suzanne. Um, what was her last name? I think it was Suzanne Mates, right? So, yeah, Suzanne Mates. So anyway, she gave me a shot, and I didn't know what she. I didn't know that she was that big. She was actually management to a studio back in the days. It was called Platinum Island Studios, and they used to have so many artists there. So anyway, that being said, when I started, I started seeing all these artists come in like Q-Tip,
Oh
um,
shit!
Buckshot, Evil D, like all these cats, like, and they would, I was a young kid. I was like, I didn't know, like, you know what I mean? I was like, who the hell are these guys? And then the there was a night that first night I was DJing. I don't know if you remember of an artist by the name of Coco.
Mm.
Anyway, she needed instrumentals, and I started playing some beats, and I ended up throwing some freestyle beats behind, and then she ended up rapping, and it was like a showcase more than just literally me doing a party. But then, of course, after the showcase, I started DJing the party, and it was amazing. But Coco performed, and she gave me the thumbs up. And then Pete Rock and CL Smooth came up, and I was like, "Oh shit, should I do the same shit for them?" I had no idea. I was like, "All right." And here we go. Pete Rock comes around, and he ends up throwing a SP 1200, which is a sampler, and it just took off from there. It was just amazing. I was just like, I was looking at him. I was like, "Oh shit, this is dope." And then I was combining with the music, and I got to meet him. I think that was dope. But I don't think he liked me putting breakbeats behind like I did it for Coco. And that's okay. It is what it is. And that was learning experience. And then before you know it, the third, the second, third, the fourth, the fifth party, uh, it evolved.
So you
So
got
many
thrown into
artists. Run
you
DMC
got
was, and that's another story.
yeah. So it sounds like you got thrown right into it right away. Like a lot of DJs start that small place that nobody's heard of that, or the first few years they're working in some no name bars, or if they're lucky enough to even get into a club, because usually you got to start in bars, and then you're lucky enough to get into a club eventually. You're working with big names day one. Like that had to be intimidating.
Well, but that's what's shocking to me. Like I started at 18, and this my boy. Well, he was my boy. This guy named Tommy. He was like actually my management. He says, "Oh, I know this lady named Suzanne." I said, "Okay, whatever. I appreciate that." But I mean, that being said, I did a party before then. Of course, I was younger, and remember I was 2 years trying to practice, and I did my birthday party, and I had some friends come over, but that was nothing. You know what I mean? I was like 16 and a half, I think, almost 17, and people was coming in, and I didn't know what the hell I was doing. You know what I mean? But I was just happy that everybody came through, and I was just showing my skills. And after that, that was
Yeah.
it. But
And
at
now,
18, yeah, I did get thrown in the melting pot with so many artists that it literally started evolving, and I was like, "Who the hell are these guys?" I back then I didn't even know who the hell were the Jungle Brothers like that. You know what I mean? And then they
yeah,
were there, and I was like, "Oh shit!" You know what I mean? That's how I felt. I was like, I was into freestyle heavy, but these guys wanted me to play hip hop. I said, "All right," but I knew who Nas was, and I was like, "All right," you know what I mean? Like I was ready.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
But it was amazing because I it was like an indie showcase with mainstream artists, and that to me from there just my mind blew off. I said, "Yo, I can literally do other things besides being in the club. Maybe I can be on a tour DJ or even
yeah.
on from radio." And I never saw it. I never saw it pop off the way I wanted to. You know what I mean? But it was okay. I got to meet a lot of people. A lot, and that was honestly amazing to me.
Yeah, speaking of meeting people, it's funny. Meister, a little side story. DJ Meister, me and him are hanging out at the DJ Expo this year, and he's introduced me to everybody. And I remember he goes, "You weren't excited to meet that person?" I go, I don't know, I don't know who that was." And he told me who it was. I was like, "Oh shit, can we go back?" He goes, "No, you look thirsty." He goes, "You already done messed it up." And I was like, "Oh man, I won't even say who it was. I don't want to embarrass myself for not recognizing who it was." But let's just say it's as a lot of you guys know that know Meister, he was on a big station recently. By the way, congrats to being on Globalization Radio. By the way, was on a big station radio lately, as you all know. And I'll just leave it. I'll leave it at it was probably somebody who was involved with that. And you know, Bison knows a lot of people. So that brings me to my next question. So you're starting out as DJ now. Let's go like 5, 10 years in your career. Things are leveling out. Um, now in New York, you can DJ everywhere, right? There's a lot of places to DJ in New York City, a lot more places than most places in the country because you got all your different pockets of areas to hang out. Um, what would you say was the most, I would say, stressful gig you've ever been on, being in New York? Or, and by stressful, it could be anything. It could be something like you guys couldn't get equipment to work one day. It could be stressful because of the people that were there. It could be stressful because it was the first time you were in maybe a big club, and you didn't feel prepared. Like we've all had that feeling of, oh, damn, I'm prepared enough or whatever. What was the most stressful moment you had as a young DJ? First, 5,
Well,
10 years in.
I want to say, uh, well, after my journey with Suzanne Mates, things just, I don't know. I like after a couple years with her, I was there literally for like almost close to 5 years, and I ended up. We had an argument, and I set my ways, and after that, I was on my own. It was very difficult for me to get in the clubs again, like I wanted to, because I had a shot. I was like, all right, I couldn't get no love, so I said, all right, what should I do? And I ended up, um, I started finding I found a gig uh, here and there, and then I ended up working the strip clubs. And I think working in a strip club was the hardest thing for me because I wasn't a mic guy. I was literally just a turntablist. I was already
Oh
close
yeah.
to 4 to 5, going into 5 years in the game. I was like, all right, and then I couldn't get really a lot of work. But when I was in the clubs, I started with these girls there, and they were strippers, and I was like, I gotta present them. I don't know how to get on the mic, and this that was all new to me. My game, my game was horrible. Like I didn't know what to do. You know what I mean? So I was like, all right, I did what I could, and then I after a while, I listening to other guys, and I was like, all right, I'll try to imitate, but do have my own version, and then
Yeah.
little by little, I needed the confidence boost because it was scary. I got on the mic sometimes and I choked, and they were looking at me like, "Yo, you all right?" I said, "I'm good, let's go."
I'm
I
gonna
didn't know
keep
what
it
to
going.
say, improvising and shit, but. Uh, yeah, but I gotta admit that strip club game I had it for a long time, and I was there like I was like an underground. I want to say I was like a more of an underground mainstream type of DJ, but cats know me. Like I used to be in the Bronx heavy. With I used to open up for Suave at this place called Bada Bing, and DJ Suave, which is now a heavy hitter, he's actually Lumi D's DJ. And
Yeah.
back then, I used to open up for him. And when he used to go on tour with her, I used to DJ. I used to stay at the spot, and just build from there. And then I ended up building all these other spots. I had Crazy Horse in the Bronx by Orchard Beach. God, 2020 in the city. Uh, Platinum and by JFK Airport. Like I had like 7 spots, and from there, and I ended up being a strip club DJ. And I was like, damn, is this what I'm gonna be, a strip club DJ all my life? I didn't know. I wanted to be in the club because I got used to being, you know what I mean, like in the club, and I liked meeting artists and stuff like that. And strip club was cool. I got to meet a lot of girls, but it wasn't what I wanted. You know what I mean? I wanted more.
Yo, Siempre just said, "Do all DJs start at the strip club gigs at some point?" And my answer to that, Siempre, is yes if they're not married. If you're married, usually you're not gonna be able to do that. You gotta start a different way. Uh, if you're single, yeah, that's where you start. Um, uh, I just thought that was funny because it's so true. So many of my DJ friends started strip clubs too, and you do get your mic work down there. That or you got guys like I started in karaoke. I never wanted to be a DJ. It was never my plan. It was never my goal in life. I fell into it by accident. Just on a drunken night back when I used to drink. It's one of the good things drinking gave me was got me into DJing. So, but back to you. So you did that for a few years. You had a few mistakes. You were learning. Now you're learning mic work, which is good because that when you go back to the regular clubs and all, then you do your regular club gigs. Your mic work, um, you know, I think mic work separates most DJs from everybody else. You know what I mean? I think 100% mic work. Because if you got two DJs that sound identical and the crowd can't tell the difference, but one can hype up the crowd a little bit better, uh, everybody's gonna think he's better. But the reality is he ain't better. He knows how to work the crowd a little bit. He's got some crowd work ability because he can use that mic. And so I tell all DJs all the time, learn how to use that mic. Don't be afraid of it. Don't be scared of it. Don't just hide behind just the turntables. Learn how to prompt the crowd and do different things, even if it's a little bit.
I was a little nervous and skeptical about jumping on that mic, and I had to watch a lot of dope DJs. Like in between the time after Suzanne Mates, those events, I was trying to get in the club, and I met this big time promoter in New York City by the name of John Gungi Vivera back in the '90s,
Yep.
and I asked him for an opportunity, and I started out as a flyer boy, like literally giving out flyers for all his spots, and I met DJ Big Paul and of course Ted Smooth. And Ted Smooth was one of the nastiest mic game guys I've ever seen in my life. He took a crowd and he just tore it upside down. I've never seen anything like that. And I was like, all right. And I would come just to the club to listen to Ted Smooth because that guy, back then when he was like in his prime, he was a dope, dope, heavy DJ. Like he was in his game right. And I was like, yo, his mics, because he was just amping that crowd up and he kept them consistent. You know what I mean? And I was like, I got to learn this like so bad. So I ended up mixing the strip club mic game and the club mic game together, and I put them together and I evolved to my situation. You know what I mean? The
Your
way I
style,
like
exactly.
it. Um, when I was in the strip club, when I was at Bada Bing, I used to watch DJ Suave be on that mic. I was like, okay, that boy is nasty. He's another guy. But Test Move and Suave sound like alike. And when I told her, I was like, yo, Suave, you sound like Test Move. He got mad tight at me. I was like, yo, my bad. I wasn't trying to be disrespectful. I was just like, yo, you guys sound dope, but you sound almost alike, he's like, 1, 2, let's go. Come on. Oh, baby. And back then, you're uptown, you're in the Bronx. It just that's that ghetto urban talk, and that people love that. And the girls, they get crazy on stage. They start showing their titties and all of that. You know what I mean? They just go crazy. I love that about Suave. He is one of the biggest strip club DJs in the tri-state right now as we speak. I mean, and now he became a heavy hitter because of Enough.
Yep. Now let's fast forward to because we all know the good years were me and you were both DJing during the same time, right? Then the pandemic hits 2 years ago. I want to know about your journey and how you got to Twitch because I'm sure I've talked to a bunch of DJs on this and everybody started differently, right? Everybody tried. For me, I'll give my quick version. Obviously, I went Facebook, kept getting kicked off. Then I actually went to, I went all in on, what's that other service that none of us use? Mix Cloud, right? I was like, that's where everybody's going to go because it's legal and legit for us to go. And then I came to Twitch late. How did you, when the pandemic came, what was your format? What did you do? Did you do the Facebook thing at first? Did you try other things out? I heard you say Instagram earlier. What did you do?
I honestly thought I was gonna die. I didn't know what was gonna happen through pandemic. I just thought that it was a wrap for me. You know what I mean? And then, and I ended up going on Instagram, but Instagram and Facebook kept on shutting me down like all the time. I was like, this is ridiculous. Like I go there for an hour. It's like, all right, I'll try to jump on today, jump on later, jump on tomorrow. I would get one or two, three, four, five viewers, but and they'd be like, say what's up, and then they would leave. But it was just wasn't the same, and I'm amazed as how other DJs evolved on Instagram and literally have a huge following. Like Angie V, she had like over 600 people on her page. I was like, damn, you know what I mean? And it was just through pandemic. I was like,
Yeah.
I wish I had at least 10. You know what I mean? But it was difficult. I said, nah, I gotta try to evolve on this. And all of a sudden, uh, somebody mentioned to me about Twitch. I said, what the hell is that? And I started looking to see what that was and try to evolve on it. And little by little, I said, let me give it a shot. And I had really bad episodes trying to come on. My computer would freeze. I had no green screen. And when I try to have a green screen, I had the baddest backgrounds. Like it was just bad. Like the color was bad. I something horrible on the mic. I couldn't like I was trying to figure it all out, just like everybody else. And I ended up somehow evolving into Twitch and just like everybody, just I found my niche.
It's funny because when when we all finally end up on once you finally end up on Twitch, you stay on Twitch. I think all the DJs know that. But yeah, man, getting kicked off on Facebook, and then you first come on, and I actually just saw a clip come up recently because somebody had that plugin where when you follow them or you cheer, whatever. I couldn't remember what I did, one of the two things. And it brings up a clip of you, an old clip of you. And the old clip was one of my clips before I had green screen and all that stuff. And I was like, oh my God, that's like the early days of me streaming. Like, geez. I remember I used to put up lights behind me in my room. I try to find the whitest wall in my house. And I would go ahead and just with that whitest wall, put a few up lights behind me, and that's how I streamed. That's how I streamed for the beginning. And then I finally got a green screen because I was like, how is everybody doing all this with the green screen stuff? It looks dope as hell. Um, and so I feel you on that. Then that was a whole nother thing we had to learn. So DJs, everything's going good. Then the pandemic comes. Then you're trying to figure out where you're going next. We don't know if we're ever DJing again. Like Meister said, we don't know if we're gonna survive. And then all of a sudden, now you're learning a whole new. When you had everything down, you know Serato in and out. You know how to DJ. You can do anything. And now you're like, great. Now I got to do a live stream and put all this stuff together and learn how to use OBS. I had to learn how to use OBS. I had to learn how to use uh, Twitch. I ain't gonna lie because it's Siempre. I think I know how to make a command now, or at least I figure out how to fix one. Because Siempre does all that for me. Because I'm like all these things we had to learn coming on here that you never had to worry about just when you're out in the clubs. And it's been one hell of a ride. But I'll tell you this, I know I'm never leaving. So that's my last question for that I got for you, and I think I already know the answer. Because I know you're already out there working again. Are you ever going to leave Twitch, or is Twitch home now? Like this is the place that kept us fed for 2 years during the pandemic. You here to stay? What's the long term plan?
Um, I think that honestly, that is depend on the fans. If my rooms are still there, the people are there. If there's even one, two, three people listening, that means people they wanna check me out. So I don't mind showing love. You know what I mean? I love Twitch. I think it's dope. Yeah, we don't about making money on Twitch. That's a wrap. You know what I mean? Even because
Yeah,
pandemic helped. It helped some, but after that, it was just for the love of music, and I really like it. I enjoy streaming, but I'll be honest with you, if I wouldn't be streaming, I would be practicing at home. So I look at Twitch as a method of practicing,
yeah,
because when I gotta set some stuff up at the club or whatever, I'll just do it home. But I'll just do it live on Twitch. I'll be like, all right, I'm gonna figure this out this way, that way, and then I'm ready for the spot. You know what I mean? But now for some reason I play by intuition. Like I don't even set nothing up. You know what I mean? Everything is
yeah,
just by my whatever I wanna, however I wanna. You know what I mean? It's like by inspiration. It's like, all right, I feel this vibe, boom. I feel that vibe, boom. But you know what I mean? And it works. You know, I'm not the perfect DJ, but because you might have a hit or miss record. You know what I mean? But it
yeah.
works. You know what I mean? And Twitch evolved me to become better, even better of what I was.
I think Twitch has been huge in that because, like you said, it
But
kept you on a
am I gonna
schedule.
be on Twitch for a minute? Yeah, I'll be on Twitch for at least. I'm sorry, I mean to cut you. Go ahead.
Oh, I was saying, yeah, we're like CNN guys. We got like a 3 second delay. So, for me, like I said, you're right. Twitch is a place to practice on. I mean, so many guys, and it keeps you scheduled too because, like, okay, hey, I'm supposed to be on today at 10 o'clock. So from 10 to noon, I'm practicing today, as opposed to, I can just watch some TV today. That's what I love about Twitch. It forced me to go on, forced me to practice, forced me to play all the time, and that's one reason why I'll never leave it. Like you said, numbers. I know everybody's numbers are down, and I think they're starting to head back up. But the pandemic was great because everybody supported everybody. But I think one of the things that's huge is like you said, you hit it right on the head. Is a place to continue practicing. Well, I practice by myself when there's somebody willing to watch and chat and hang out with me, and I could be working on my mic skills by talking with them, or like you said, simply practice. Why not stream it if there's people willing to listen? I love that answer.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. Yeah, I actually nobody ever interviewed me. So thank you very much for that. Very nice of you.
I picked you for my first. I wanted you to be my first. People don't. This guy doesn't take credit for it. Let me tell you. I wouldn't be wearing my mixed syndicate stuff all the time if it wasn't for this guy. I wouldn't have a lot of. I would have met a lot of people that I've been introduced to. Although he finds it funny when I don't know who they are. But big shout out, Meister. I'm glad you're our first guest on here. This is straight talk. We're gonna do this on Tuesdays. What we're gonna do every Tuesday now, guys. An interview, and then we'll be doing music afterwards. I just got to figure that part out. I'm gonna play some music here as we get out of here. But everybody, shout out to DJ Mice for coming up in here. And
Yo,
Mice, you had a lot of people showing love in here, by the way.
you, I, w- I was gonna say when you get involved with these interviews with artists, DJs, make sure you like talk to them about like the dirty grinds of Twitch because it's so political now. It is on a different level, and it's like I don't know if you noticed, like everybody's running raid trains and uh just to get their numbers up. And I see it, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Everybody's literally aligning themselves with groups, dang, 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 like soldiers, and so they can not lose their fans or even build their fans or even take away fans from other channels. It's just crazy. So just to be aware, stuff like that you should bring to the table. Anyway, shout outs to everybody that's here came support and shouts to all the mods that literally on my channel. Thank you so much for being here and just showing some love. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate you all. We wouldn't be here without you mods, and that's the truth. And you know that's true, Eric.
oh hell yeah, I say it all the time. Without the mods, if I tell Samper all the time, if she leaves Twitch, that's the only way I'm leaving Twitch is if I lose my number one mod, because I can't do have the. I legit haven't learned how to do certain things. So, thanks for being our first guest ever, man. Shout out DJ Meister. I think everybody here follows him, but just in case, we'll drop the link one more time.
Thank you.
Make sure you're following the homie. Um, one of the dopest DJs I know. One of the closest friends I think I've got in my life now. Definitely the biggest friend I made on Twitch. So shout out to him. Maybe besides Sampray. Me and Sampray talk all the time. But other than that, but we share
Well,
Sampray
I'll
actually.
be
He
honest
has
with you.
Sampray too.
Remember that we actually got introduced through Siempre because Siempre, if it wasn't for Siempre, we have never would have met. Because she
That's a
tell me
fact.
one time, like, "Yo, why don't you try Eric C? Try him." I was like, "Who the hell is that?" I was like, "I don't know who Eric is." I was like, "All right." And then
That
we
is
just started. I said, "All right." And then before you know it, you caught my attention and you grew on me. I'm not gonna lie to you, Eric. You grew on me, and I was like, "Yo, this guy is different. And I like his niche." I said, and you was bringing something else to the table that I think was cool. So I said, "All right, let's work with it." Shout out to DJ Susie, man.
DJ Susie in the building. We see you, Susie. Shout out to everybody. Everybody came through. We had Fire Queen, Siempre, C Slick, Vet was in here. A bunch of people were going through the. I don't know if you can see the chats over there in the comment, but I can see it over here. But shout out to everybody that came through today. I'll put some more music on. Meister, thank you so much for being my first guest, man. Shout out to you, and I appreciate you, brother.
Thank you. Thank you. Ken, real quick shut before you shut me down, I just want to say that I'm gonna have an extra day. I'm thinking about having like a Tuesday night through the winter because it's cold and people are probably gonna be twitching more because of the cold weather around my way. So I'm gonna most likely do a Tuesday night. I'm bringing on like an authentic house music type of vibe on Twitch. So I'm gonna be doing something different on Tuesday nights. But otherwise,
Yeah,
but it'll be maybe like twice a month. We'll figure it out, because I promote on Discord what I do, but I'm usually on Monday, Wednesdays, and Friday, 11 o'clock in the morning Eastern Standard Time. But Tuesdays we're gonna do something probably like at 8 o'clock, maybe 8 to 10:30, depending on the vibe and the fans. If it builds, great. If it doesn't, that's okay. But I just want to bring versatility because I am an open format DJ. A lot of people don't know. They think I'm just a hip hop DJ. I'm not only a hip hop DJ. I play house music. I play hip hop. I play rock. I even play country. You know what I mean? I play pop like crazy. I learned it through the years because when I wanted to work and I couldn't find work at a club, I said, "All right, you want me to play pop? I'm gonna learn how to play pop." And I ended up playing a lot of Justin Bieber. There you go. And then it popped off.
Yeah, and that's something we can talk about in the future. But like, you know, being an open format DJ opens other doors for you. But you gotta that being open format, you gotta learn everything. That's the crazy part. You gotta know a little bit of this, you gotta know a little bit about that, a little bit about this, and it's harder to keep up. And now with the internet today, with especially hip hop's hard to keep up with. It's not like it used to be because there's artists that are blowing up on YouTube or Spotify or something every day. And it's funny because this never used to happen until like the past 5 years. But like people come to you and be like, "Yo, you got this song?" You're like, "Nah, I don't even know what the hell you're talking about." And then all of a sudden, you for whatever reason, you'll download it, and you're like, maybe two people ask you for that song that you've never heard of that night, and you'll play it, and the whole club knows it, and you're just like, "Damn, how did I not know this? How this was slipped through? How the whole club know this song and I didn't know it?" And that's the struggle being open formats because you're trying to know a little bit too much about everything. But I'd say that's the only part that hurts me on is the fact, like, the new stuff, the brand new stuff that I'm just like, how did I miss this? How did I miss this record?
I agree with you. I think that a lot of these new artists that we're evolving. Like for example, when I was DJing, there was like, "Yo, you got this new record called Munch." I said, "Who the hell is it? What is it? What is that?" And it's like this girl from the Bronx is a rapper, young teenager. I think her name is Icy Princess. I forgot her name, but anyway, so she's got a record out named Munch, and it's really heavy in Queens. And before you know it, it started leaking in New York City. I said, all right, and it's been jumping in the Bronx. So I said, okay, well let me play it in the city, and now everybody's hearing that all over the place. You know what I mean? Which is dope. It makes presence for her. But yeah, a lot of new artists evolve every day, especially off YouTube, and I agree with you 100% on that. But like I was saying, that Tuesday nights, I want to be authentic because I think a lot of people have forgotten the authenticity of house music. Man, I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure you have the older crowd that have like track source, beatport, that is so different. Anybody can play electro house, but when you have authenticity on that type of house music that don't people don't know about that because there it does exist. There's clubs out here in New York City that exist with those type of feel vibes and they're all over the place and they're just hidden gems.
yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to bring to the table on Tuesday nights. I want to play the authenticity of either Afro house, Latin house, but authenticity, not electro. These are more like funky type of house music, funky, um, up tempo vibes. House
I
music.
like it. And that's gonna be Tuesday nights. What time again?
Tuesday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm gonna be doing that when I'm not working at the club. I'll be home, and I'm just gonna be doing that. I'm most likely 8:30. I'm looking at like maybe 2 to 3 hours, depending on the vibe. If people feeling it, but it's different because I mean, listen, you have so many dope producers like Kenny Dope, Lil Louis Vega, Todd Terry, Terry Hunter. The list goes on with these type of music that's evolved from New York behind years ago, and also Chicago, all the way out to Croatia, Europe. They're heavy on this type of music that doesn't really get a lot of play on Twitch. There is
Ooh,
a couple of people that pay authenticity on Twitch. Don't get me wrong, um, but we're talking about famous guys. Like these guys got numbers. You know what I mean?
yeah,
You know what I mean? But that's the type of music that I'm talking about. Like a lot of people, so only certain people play it, and that's what I'm trying to play because I want everybody to know that I'm an open format DJ. I'm not just labeled as a hip hop, reggae, and
I
R&B
love
DJ.
it. I love it. So today is Tuesday. No, yeah, today's Tuesday. So in case you guys didn't know, that'll be tonight. You'll be on tonight.
Actually, no, it'll be starting next week, next Tuesday. I'm waiting for a wire from Amazon because I had my wire died on me, so I gotta get a new wire, and it's a $80 wire, so I finally bought it, and I gotta wait for it from Amazon. I shipped it out fast to me. It'll be out here like in maybe 2 3 days, but I'll be ready for next Tuesday for sure.
Next Tuesday, guys. Don't miss it. He said around 8:30, somewhere around there. So be looking for it. Make sure you guys got your notifications turned on. And if there's anybody here not following DJ Meister, do so now. Meister, thank you so much, brother. I can't thank you for everything you've done for me over this past year since we've known each other. Thank you for everything. All the talks we've had. Thank you just for being the first guest on here, man. I appreciate it. And we'll see you in the streams, fam.
For sure. Thank you so much for having me, brother. Have a beautiful guy. Have a beautiful day. Take care, guys.
Later, bud. There it was, guys. DJ Meister. What can I say? You guys all know him. We all love him. And it's I had to have him on as my first guest. That was just kind of my thought process when I was looking for somebody to have on here. I'm trying to get music back.